Do you ever look at your day and realize you've moved less, learned less, and connected less than you'd hoped? Again? Maybe you wake up with good intentions. You plan to take a walk, read a few pages, call an old friend. But then the news comes on, the grandkids need help with something, or you just feel a little stiff, a little tired, and the day slips away without you having truly lived in it. I know that feeling. For a long time, I thought staying active was for people with more energy, more time, or younger bodies. I'd watch neighbors on morning walks or friends in book clubs and think, that's nice for them, but I'm past that season. But then I started noticing something in the lives of the most vibrant people I know, many of them in their 70s, 80s, even 90s. They weren't just surviving their days, they were shaping them. And the secret wasn't genetics or luck. It was simple, daily choices, small acts of movement, curiosity, and connection that added up to something far greater than the sum of their parts. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. This isn't a channel about extreme fitness or frantic self-improvement. It's a gentle space for those of us who believe that aging doesn't mean fading, it means deepening. That every day, no matter your age, can hold a little movement, a little learning, and a little peace. If that's the kind of life you're tending to, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to Elevate Your Daily. It's how we stay connected as we choose vitality, not just longevity. Today, I want to share what I've learned, not from doctors or gurus, but from watching my neighbors, my friends, and eventually myself, about how to stay truly alive in body, mind, and spirit long after the hustle has ended. This isn't about running marathons or mastering a new language overnight. It's about weaving three quiet threads: health, peace, and growth into the fabric of your everyday life. To help me build a rhythm that felt sustainable and joyful, not punishing or forced, I stopped setting grand goals and started asking myself 5 warmer, more human questions, ones that honored where I was, not where I thought I should be. These questions became my compass, and they might be yours too. The 5 questions are: what kind of movement makes me feel more alive, not sore, not exhausted, but lightly energized? What small piece of learning would spark my curiosity this week, just for the joy of it? Who is one person I'd love to walk or talk with just to share the day and feel less alone? Where can I find 5 minutes of true quiet in my day, not to fix anything, but to just be? What old hobby or skill could I revisit, not to be good at it, but to remember who I was when I loved it? Let me walk you through how each of these questions helped me move from drifting through my days to designing them with gentle intention. Number 1. What kind of movement makes me feel more alive, not sore, not exhausted, but lightly energized? I used to think exercise had to be intense to count. If I wasn't sweating or pushing my limits, I was just walking, which didn't feel like enough. But then I watched my friend Margaret, age 78, tend her garden every morning. She'd kneel, stretch, lift pots, step over rows of herbs. She never called it exercise, but she moved with grace, strength, and consistency. One day I asked her how she stayed so strong. She smiled and said, "I just do what my body asks for, every day." That shifted everything for me. I stopped chasing workouts and started listening. I asked myself this question, and the answer was clear: a slow walk in the morning sun. Not fast, not far, just 20 minutes around the block, noticing the trees, the birds, the way the light hits the houses. Some days I stretch after, some days I don't, but I always return feeling lighter. I've learned that movement isn't about burning calories, it's about honoring your body as a vessel for living. And for many of us, the best movement is the kind that feels like a gift, not a chore. You don't need a gym, you need a reason to step outside and a pair of comfortable shoes. Number 2, what small piece of learning would spark my curiosity this week just for the joy of it? I used to believe that learning was for the young, college students, career climbers, the up-and-coming. But then I joined a local library talk on bird migration. The room was full of people my age, eyes bright, asking thoughtful questions. One woman, Evelyn, told me that she'd taken up astronomy at 72. Not to become an expert, just to understand the sky she's looked at whole life. That stayed with me. So I started small. I picked up a book on local flowers, something I'd always admired but never studied. I spend 10 minutes a day reading or sketching in a notebook. No pressure, no test, just wonder. Some weeks I learn about history. Other weeks I watch a short documentary on how bees communicate. It's not about accumulating knowledge, it's about keeping my mind soft, open, and curious. Because curiosity isn't about knowing more, it's about staying connected to the mystery of being alive. And you're never too old to wonder. Number 3, who is one person I'd love to walk or talk with just to share the day and feel less alone? Here's something I didn't expect. As life quieted down, kids grown, work retired, the silence sometimes felt too loud. I missed the easy rhythm of shared time. Not big events, but the small, ordinary moments. A cup of tea, a walk in the park, a phone call, just a laugh about nothing. So I asked myself this question, and I thought of my old friend Clara. We'd lost touch over the years, caught up in life's whirlwind. I called her on a whim. "Want to walk Tuesdays?" I asked. We've been walking every Tuesday for 2 years now. We don't solve the world's problems. We talk about our gardens, our memories, our hopes for our grandchildren. Sometimes we just walk in comfortable silence. Those walks have become my anchor, not because they're dramatic, but because they're consistent, because they remind me I am not alone. If you don't have a walking partner, start small. Call a cousin, invite a neighbor for coffee, join a local senior center's walking group. Connection doesn't require grand gestures. It just requires showing up with an open heart. Number 4, where can I find 5 minutes of true quiet in my day, not to fix anything, but to just be? Peace isn't the absence of noise, it's the presence of stillness within you. For years, I thought meditation was for monks or people with perfect focus, but then I tried something simpler. I sat on my porch for 5 minutes each morning before the day began. No phone, no agenda, just me, my breath, and the sound of the wind in the trees. At first, my mind raced, lists, worries, memories, but slowly those 5 minutes became the sanctuary, a place where I could return to myself. I've since learned that peace isn't something you find out there, it's something you cultivate in here, through small daily returns to the present moment. Maybe your quiet time is with a cup of tea. Maybe it's listening to one piece of music with full attention. Maybe it's sitting by a window and watching the clouds. You don't need hours, you just need a few minutes of true presence, where you're not trying to change anything, but simply allowing yourself to be. That's where peace lives. Number 5, what old hobby or skill could I revisit, not to be good at it, but to remember who I was when I loved it? Last year, I found an old watercolor set in the back of my closet. I'd painted as a young woman, joyfully, messily, without care for the outcome. Life took over, and I put it away. One rainy afternoon, on a whim, I opened the box. The paints were dry, the brushes stiff, but my hands remembered. I painted a simple flower. It wasn't good, but it was true. And in that moment, I felt a part of myself awaken, someone playful, patient, present, someone I'd forgotten was still inside me. I've since learned that hobbies aren't about mastery, they're about memory of who we were, who we are, and who we can still become. Because joy doesn't retire, it just waits for you to invite it back in. Your turn. One simple step. If you're ready to weave a little more health, peace, and growth into your days, here's one gentle step you can take this week. Choose one of the 5 questions and follow its lead for just 5 minutes a day. Take one short walk just to move and notice the world. Read one page of something that sparks your curiosity. Call or meet one person just to connect. Sit in silence for 5 minutes with no agenda. Pick up an old hobby, even if just to touch it again. You're not trying to transform your life overnight. You're just planting a seed of vitality and trusting that with time and care it will grow. I'm not sharing this because I've mastered this rhythm. Some days I still drift, some days the news wins, but now I know how to come back, through a walk, a page, a phone call, a breath, a brushstroke. And if you're in this season of life, choosing presence over performance, depth over speed, I'm so glad you're here. This journey isn't about adding more to your plate, it's about savoring what's already here, with body, mind, and heart fully awake. So if you'd like to keep tending to this kind of quiet, vibrant living with warmth, not pressure, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to Elevate Your Daily. This channel is a home for those of us who know that health, peace, and growth aren't destinations. They're daily choices, made gently, consistently, and with love. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.